everybody, what's going on? It's me, Captain Vibes. Today we are live action. You already know what it is. Here to bring you my review of Bleach: The 1,000-Year Blood War, episode 2 of season 1. But this is titled Foundation Stones, which is the same title name from the chapter 485, I believe. But you already know what it is. So let's get into this. Like I said before, I already know what happened, but there's a lot of things in this episode that they took out and things that they added in, which I'm going to break down in this episode. But before we get started, can we finally be happy that we have an intro now? This intro, you know what? I have to say, visually, this may be my favorite intro. The song is nice, but it's not my favorite Bleach song. So I really like the way the pink and the black and gray, the way they complement each other. I believe there's a video out there where you can actually watch the Bleach intro in different colors, green, blue, etc. You know, I think it looks real cool. Of course, you know my favorite part, they show Zabimaru, you know, Renji fighting Asnod, then they show Byakuya, but the whole thing looks smooth. And I'm surprised, well, I'm not surprised because they do this a lot in anime intros. They show spoilers. So for everyone who've never watched, you've never read the manga of this arc, and this is their first time seeing this, you just got spoiled. Now, you may have questions, you may be slightly confused, so you may have gotten semi-spoiled, but yeah, when they show Ichigo, you know, shaking hands, you know, with the true Zanpakuto, you know, the real Zangetsu, I'm like, did they actually show that? Then they show him dual wielding the two Zanpakutos. I'm like, hey, whatever they want to show it is cool. I love it the way it looks, and I like the way they show, you know, the other Zangetsu. His Quincy powers and his zooms on his glasses. You see the reflection of Bach, because we already know what that connection is. So let's kick things off with one of the major things I noticed. So of course, it immediately starts off, you know, where Ludus, his arms get blown off, you know, he's talking to Bach. Now, I never cared for this character. What is it, Eburn and Ludus? I've never cared for them. They're just, clearly they were fire. These Arrancar, Quincy hybrids, I never cared for them. But when we cut back to Ichigo's room, and when Ichigo returns, I noticed one of the differences is that when Yuki phone's rings, you know, immediately he's like, wait a minute, that's my soul phone. And, you know, he knew it was something important. He answers it, he's shocked, he puts it on speaker so everyone can hear. But in the manga, it was very silly, you know. I believe he recorded Shino humming. And, you know, and she's like, what the hell? You got me, you recorded me humming and that's your ringtone? And he's like, yeah. And I really like this part. It was comical, and clearly she hit him in the face because his face was swollen, you know. Then that's when he answered the phone. That I noticed. Then, of course, we see that's when Akon, he gave the full detailed report as to what happened. And I like the detail, how they actually showed more of the gruesome slaughter Shinigami, you know, from Squad 1. Now, one thing I noticed with Ichigo's room, you see a lot of extra details. You see, of course, what the Red Octobers or Septembers, whatever those shoes are called. You see those. You see, I believe, an iPad, an iPhone, other books, a lot of other details in there, which I thought was pretty cool and funny. I think that iPhone Ichigo guy, that's what a 10, a 7 or something. Like, he at least got to have a 13 or 14. I mean, damn. So anyway, I like the feeling that they added in with this scene, with the music. Like I said before, music can really create or recreate a scene and make it very powerful. I can't stress it enough how the wrong type of music can just kill the hype, or it just won't match the mood. But this, I really like. You know, they were taking it all in, hearing that Sasuke, he's died and everything. I really like the music, the mood, and just the facial expressions and the energy that was given from this scene. And another thing I noticed was taken away when Ichigo decided to patrol. Before he patrolled, he's sitting on his bed looking outside the window, and they added in, you know, Uryu. Now, first I believe they showed Chad, motivator, getting his cardio on, you know, gotta respect that, getting the workout on. And then Orihime, she's looking out the window, they show a bird flying by. Uryu, he's looking at the Quincy chain. I like that additional detail. But I believe that wasn't in the manga, and also what they took out of the manga when Ichigo decided to patrol. I remember there were some panels where Uryu was stating to Ichigo that he believed that they knew Yuki was with Ichigo, so when he had it on speaker, they purposely wanted him to hear that, and they were probably gonna contact them like, hey, we're gonna need your help with this. And then of course that's when we see Nail comes, after the Garganta, super speed. In the manga, she was going this way. In the anime, she went that way, whatever. We get it, she lands down, I need help, Ichigo help me. Then here come her silly brother Pesce, and of course, they would focus so much on his crotch. I mean, I know he landed head first and his upper torso's in the air, but they just honed in on the motivator's crotch. And of course, and when Ichigo kicked them in the fellas, it looked a little bit different from, when they did it in the manga. But to backtrack a little bit, yes, they did show when he took out Ludus and Eburn. Like I said, I don't care about them. I really like how they captured this moment, especially when he got up off the throne, the TheEliteace throne, by the way. And I really like how he got up, the way he got up in the manga, he got up the same way. And I like how he was making the racy stairs. That just looked perfect. Of course, peel back the curtain, down there's Halabale, like I showed, in the trailer reaction before. It looks identical to how I did in the manga. So we cut to that. This part was very important to me out of this whole episode. We cut to Sasakibe's funeral. And to be honest, I gotta keep it real. I keep it real. This was the letdown of the whole episode. They cut out a major important part. The speech / dialogue Renji was giving, that Byakuya was giving to Renji. Now, yes, I do like the environment they were showing. The captains, had their eyes closed. They looked sad and down, paying their respects. And it seemed like that was it. You have the all-white screen, Sasakibe kneeling down to old man Yama. You see his body get ready to get cremated. And that's when he says, light the flame. But before we move on to the next part, the reason why I feel this is very important, that they shouldn't have removed this, is because this was extra vital information. While yes, me and for the ones who watching who already read the manga, we know about this, but imagine the people who never read the manga, they only follow Bleach strictly and exclusively as, watching through the anime. They didn't know the additional details. So if you're a new subscriber, thank you and welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber and you only follow Bleach through the anime, videos like mine and other Bleach content creators who focus on important details that were taken out, it is good that you watch this, because I'm here to tell you that, yes, an important part was missed out. And I'm going to tell you what Byakuya was actually stating. He was giving facts about, basically Sasakibe, he died due to his extreme level of loyalty to old man Yama. I mean, Sasakibe, he's way older than damn near a lot of people in the Gode 13. He achieved Bunkai before Shunsui and Ukitake were even born. That lets you know right there how old he is. And yes, in the future, we're going to get an actual flashback of when he first obtained Bunkai. And we may even get extra additional footage. I hope they don't remove it. But anyway, you see that one panel, how Renji, he had that look on his face. Like, the look on his face, it was like, man, this is a picture of 1,000 words, because Renji was like, out of all the vacancies that ever happened throughout the Gotei 13, he could have filled the spot, but he didn't, due to his loyalty to old man Yama. So he basically died a lieutenant, and he never used his Bunkai in battle. That was the first time he used his Bunkai in battle. And you see, he ended up dying because, they can take the Bunkais. But what's crazy is that, when we see Renji's face, Renji was thinking like, he kind of had that look like, hey, you kind of talking greasy about Sasakibe. Or he just kind of looked like he had that look like, damn, so what you trying to say about me? Like, I have loyalty to you. I look up to you. You're my inspiration to get stronger. Because guess what? There was vacancies before. Renji could have filled them vacancies, but he still stayed under Byakuya. And there's so many reasons why, he want to get close to Rukia, or because of this, that. I mean, but the fact of the matter is, it seemed like that kind of hit home for Renji. And I just feel that was an important moment and important details that we were given about Sasakibe that they should have kept in. Why did they remove it? We don't know. When I say they, I'm talking the director and the team, as well as Kubo, but who knows? So anyway, moving on, I like the fact when he said, light the flame. Now, this was an added scene. We see Karin and Yuzu, you see the gas light that a flame cut on, and I'm pretty sure right where she's cooking, those are actual official Japanese products you can buy. I like the extra detail when she's changing the channel. You can actually see the screen color change. So when we cut to Ichigo's room, we see Pesce's talking to Chad, Uryu, Ichigo, and we see that also I think an added detail, Nail is on Ichigo's bed along with Orihime. And one thing I noticed, Ichigo, this motivator got a damn PS5. I'm like, I guess he was like, you know, an old cheap iPhone with a PS5. But of course, with Ichigo living in Japan, he was probably able to get a PS5 way easier, you know, than a lot of people. I still don't have a damn PS5. But anyway, so I love that they added this when he explained what happened with Halibel. They actually showed part of it. I love that part. I loved it. While we didn't see the battle, we seen the aftermath. You just seen her ass just pinned inside of a rock. Big ass imprint. We see Nail and her two brothers, you know, and she told them to run. I like how Bach just standing there. He just, you know, like this. You see the race, you see the flames coming from his hand. You see the whole Quincy jail squad down below. I love it. And then you see when they start to run, they look behind and Halibel's lift up in the air. You see the shadow come and snatch her away. I love that they actually added that. I thought they were just gonna cut it right there. They actually showed how she got snatched up, because when I first read this chapter years ago, I wondered like, damn, how did she get snatched up? But now we actually see how. Of course, we see my boy Keisuke Urahara show up. You know, I'm so glad we get to see this guy, man, looking more live action than he did before. And then of course we cut to the war well. And of course, something that they changed. We see Ashworth, he has the hood on. He's not like fully revealed. His dialogue isn't as long as it was in the manga. And then of course you see the regular motivating Quincy's mopping up the blood and guts and everything. In the manga, I believe there were 3. In this anime, in this episode, there were 2. But here's the real question, and I never thought about this until now, which is just seems so funny and silly. Where did they get those mops from? I just think about that. I know it's not, you know, relevant, but I was thinking, like, wait a minute, they just happen to have mops on board. What are these reishi mops? Like, what is, like, whatever. But you know, I'm like, huh. I did like that part in the manga better. You know, Ashworth holding the seal. You know, he's like, I see it's been used, but he didn't have to take Ichigo's Bunkai. That I noticed, and why did they remove that? I don't know. Now, as Ichigo, Urahara, Chad, Orihime, Nail, Pesce, they're making their way to Hueco Mundo, I really like the way that looks. This is the best that's ever looked, and they've been traveling to Hueco Mundo, etc. I really did like it. It was perfect, no complaints right here. Yes, this was in the manga, but this was drawn out, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So then when they made it to Hueco Mundo, you know, of course, to save it, you know, this part, it always just, the fact that Ichigo, I know in the manga, it was Urahara said, you know, oh, well, that's just the type of guy Ichigo is, because it was stated like, you know, those same Arrancar he's trying to save or once his enemies. My thing is, no, not once your enemy, they will always be your enemy, and I just don't get it. It's not as if Ichigo knew that, oh, these are Quincy's taking over Hueco Mundo. They're gonna mess up the balance of everything and now put the world of the living where I live in danger. He didn't know that. He just went to save these Arrancars. So rewind it back just a little bit, you know, where Uryu said he couldn't go because he's a Quincy, you know, he destroyed Hollow, she doesn't save him. This was added in there. I noticed he was getting ready to tell Ichigo. It seemed like, you know, he said, be careful. It looks like they are Quincy's, or they could be Quincy's, and that's when Urahara comes in, you know, and cuts off the conversation. So anyway, back to Hueco Mundo. I noticed one thing that they removed. I don't know why they removed when Ichigo grabbed Pesce's mouth, you know, and that's when he was still talking, and Ichigo thought that was his mouth, but it wasn't, because he was covering up Nail's mouth and had one hand on Pesce's mouth. They removed that. I don't know why. I mean, as you can see right here, yes, he has his hand on Nail's mouth. I like when Orihime was searching, you know, for any surviving Arrancars, you know, I like that music. Again, that music really set the mood and the vibe. I love the fact that the still is not censored. You see decapitations, upper torsos. You see the spirit flame that just was burning everything. I love it. The visuals, the lightings, the effects, everything looked perfect. Now, this next moment is one of my all-time favorite scenes that happened in this arc. Of course, we see Star Knight J. Colgate. You know, this guy, oh man. When I first seen him, I didn't really care for him, especially his final holy form. I still don't like his final holy form, the whole look, but this guy, his character is just fitting for what he's doing throughout this arc. Well, this little bit of time that he had. So, of course, we see there are some major, not major, but yes, there are some added things. Excuse me, there are some added things and slight little things taken away throughout this scenario, but it's perfectly fine. To me, the trade-off, it was pretty cool. Yes, of course, he was telling the Arrancars to line up. In the manga, he was stating there's going to be a tournament. See who's the most powerful and ruthless and have the most guts. Those are the ones that are going to be enslaved back, you know, to come back to fight for Bach. Now, I noticed in the anime, you know, the Arrancar that stepped forward, his hood was, the cloak was a little bit more over his face opposed to the one in the manga. And I believe in the manga, he was saying, like, so if we join you, not join you, but if we beg and agree to be loyal, you know, you will let us live. And he stabbed him and said, no, that doesn't work like that. I believe in the anime, he said, I believe, I could be wrong, I believe he said, if you spare this person, or if I join, can you spare this person? Basically, he begged for mercy. He went outside the rules and he got stabbed. And that's when he kept stabbing all their Arrancars. But we see one thing that was removed with Malia and Lali. They were, of course, talking, you know, getting ready to strike and do their plan. But, you know, they took, that's cool, that's fine. I'm not tripping off that. But what they did add in, I did like this, you know, when you went to stab them, the chains, you know, it went through and broke the chains, and we see that's they revealed themselves. And to me, it was just perfect. I like the way, oh man, the way he cut Malia. Of course, you see the two reishi darts in her arm, and I thought this was a punch for the longest, but you know, he didn't punch Molly. He actually took the butt of his reishi sword, bam, and knocked her ass out. And when we seen the flying disc come through and just rip so many Quincy's apart, I love the way they did this. It happened so fast. Animation was very good. Bloody, gory. You seeing heads fly off, blood splatter everywhere. It was perfect. Of course, I have to rewind it, freeze frame it. I'm just like, that. I love the way they did this. Of course, and I know that's when they showed Sun, Mila Rose, Apache, and this scene was different but done so much better in the anime. And I believe it was Apache, she sneezed and fired the Cero, you know. And you know, it hit, you know, one of the Quincy's, and I like when she backhanded that Quincy, his head popped, whole head popped. They're just slicing and killing and destroying. I love it. But I think one thing they took out, I believe who was it? Sun, she stabbed the Quincy right in the head with the side. I think they took that part out. That would have been cool to keep in, but everything else that they added in, that's perfectly fine by me. We switch to the Gote 13 meeting where Akon is giving details, and then after he gives his details, Mayuri steps in and gives additional details. And speaking of details, one of the things I noticed and I really did like, we see the Zanpatos, yes, on the captain's waist. And of course, because they're all at alert, this is wartime. For a lot of you who remember, during the Soul Society arc, when it was during wartime, they had complete permission to have their Zanpatos on them. Because for a lot of you that do not know, yes, just because they're captains and they have barracks and they're in charge of their own squad and they're the Serite and they're Soul Reapers, they're not, the captains don't walk around with their Zanpatos on them. Zanpatos are meant specifically to destroy hollows, you know, cleanse the sins, yada yada. Yes, they can obviously hurt, damage, and kill other Shinigami, but that's not the purpose of a Zanpato. So that's why it's always, you know, on the stand or put away in their main barracks and whatnot. So the fact that I seen that on them during the meeting, I said, yeah, I like that additional detail. And to my knowledge, that was not in the manga. So I like that added additional touch. Now, when Mayuri was like, yeah, that's right, I believe they're Quincy's, you know. I like in the manga how you've seen all the different facial expressions going around in the circle, and I like that That wasn't really present in the anime. That's cool though. And the rest of the episodes, in my opinion, is nothing too much to really touch upon. You know, a nail covering Ichigo's eye. See, of course, it ends when, you know, they were all dropped. And of course, Ichigo meets up with Star Knight J, and it ends right there. And overall, I enjoyed this episode. Pretty good, pretty decent, despite the things they took out and added in. But this is one thing I'm going to touch on. So far, with this episode at least, I think I know what the director is going for, because remember, there is a director of this. Kubo, he has, you know, his hands on the stuff, but there's still a director and a team. And it seems like they're going for a more serious vibe, because yes, they added in the silliness with Pesce and, you know, the Jurassic moments with Nail, but the fact that they cut out some silly moments, you know, the whole thing with Yuki and Shino, the cell phone, I actually like that. I do. I'm not saying take out all the silliness, because, you know, we know silliness belongs in Bleach, but it's just about the right times. But to me personally, if you can shave that down, all the better. I mean, this is somewhat, argue against me, this is like the darkest arc in Bleach, and it's not censored this time, so it's bloody, gory, it's real dark. They're capturing the mood of these tragic moments, like when they heard over the phone Sasaki Kibe died, and then when they got to Hueco Mundo, and you just seen all the Arrancar dead and laid out. That music, they're going for a deeper, serious tone. And Kubo did state in an interview, someone asked him, like, how and why do you shift from seriousness to comedy, yada yada, back and forth. And Kubo did say he liked to, you know, lighten up the mood, or just clear the mood, you know, when it's too serious with comedy. See, I never really liked that too much, especially the first time when Ichigo saved Rukia, you know, and he picked up Rukia and threw her to Renji, and she had that comical look. And then the time when, you know, when Renji was holding Rukia and she punched him and said, "What do you think I'm doing? Trying to set a record for how long I can hold my breath?" It killed that hype, intense moment to me personally. So again, I'm not against silliness or comedy. It's just a time and a place. But other than that, I really did enjoy it. Elites, let me know if I missed anything down below. I feel like I did. I always feel like I missed something, but hey, feel free to let me know down below. So far, they're on a roll with this. Again, I hope for the things that they officially take out, at least let it be, at least let them make up for it with adding something in that's worth it. Don't just take something major out and add in something little that just can't equate to, you know, how relevant it was. I mean, I get it. You see where it ended. Ichigo was looking down at Kirby, and I'm like, okay, what if they had added that Byakuya speech? Because they have to stop the episode. The episode is what, 25 minutes long, 23, I think 25 minutes long. They have to go through, okay, if we stretch it out like this, how's it gonna stop like this? We can't end the series during mid-episode, because with the second, if you go to the second page of after Ichigo runs into him, what if the episode cuts right there? So I guess it'd be weird. So they was like, okay, when he first meets Kurji, that's the perfect time to stop it. And they were only able to stop it because they cut this stuff out so it can lead up to the perfect moment to end it, if that makes sense. I don't know, but so far so good. Again, we all waited 10 years. Hey, I'm still gonna watch it. I love it. Oh, and for a lot of you who don't know, you probably do know, for the dub fans out there, the dub will be available November 4th on Hulu, so keep an eye out for that. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. It's me, Captain TheEliteace. Give me your thoughts, comments, and concerns. Signing out.